Yeah. Hey, hello Twitch. How's it going? My name is Tate Washburn, and this is the Violet Sea, the actual play stream of my custom system, the tri-system that is much like a good pirate ship held together with gumption and grease and just love, I think, personally. So, yeah. I would love for my players to introduce who they are and who they're playing. We'll get to where you can find them at the end. And let's start with top right and then going down. So, scholars first, starting with Sir Heck.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's me, Sir Hecklot. Today I am playing Arden Clark, the ether biologist, who has concerns about what is happening. Let's move on over to Lucian.
Hi, I'm Lucian. I'm playing Dr. Oliver Evans, our marble-slinging material scientist, who's, honestly, at this point, he's like, this Fulton continent, just another marble.
It goes to me, I guess. Hi, I'm Purple Phil. I'm gonna be playing Maxwell Tuttle, who's just a normal ship historian. Nothing special going on here. Don't worry about it. With that, I'll pass it on over to the top on the other side with Foxy.
Hi everybody, it's me, Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest, and today I will be reprising the role as the rapacious, rambunctious, and loquacious Captain Dre. Passing it straight down to Michelle.
Hello, it's me, Michelle. You cannot find me on social media, but today I'll be playing Quinn Archer, our chef cum medic cum bodyguard, who has some thoughts.
We have concerns
Today.
and we have thoughts. All right.
Yes.
Sounds like a session, guys. We got it all
Instead of
figured
thoughts
out.
and prayers. This is better. Thoughts and
Yeah.
concerns. We like it.
Look, I warned everybody on the last stream I was on that, oh boy. And yeah, oh boy. We unfortunately do not have our mechanic metal transhumanist Reese here. Fail is going to be busy for a bit. He may show up partway through the stream. So I think if everyone on stream crosses their fingers and claps and says, I do believe in fairies, he might show up. We'll find out.
I do believe in
I do
fairies.
believe in fairies.
I do believe in fairies.
I do believe in fairies.
I do actually believe in fairies. I do. They're real.
I do.
know it.
Fairies.
I've seen them.
Very real.
I've seen it. So, this session, I think, actually starts up on several years ago. And I would like to ask Purple, actually, when was Maxwell in college? Like, how many years ago was that?
How many years ago? I don't know, like probably, I don't want to say 10, but probably less than 10.
Little less than a decade?
More than 5, less than 10. Let's go with 7.
Mhm.
Split the difference.
Yeah. So it's about 7 years ago, which is actually somewhat fortuitous. The wandering continent has come and passed only a year or so before this point. And you are sitting in a lecture on economics, actually. It's an early class. You've just started here in the Anglician College, I believe, is where your college life was. Yeah, and it's interesting. The man up front is going into a lot of detail on the various shipping routes and how disruptions in this place or that place can undermine certain economies here and there. It's not something you're really that worried about. I think it's somewhere in the middle where he's talking about like why the ruling class keeps the secret of Aether Glass, like how to make it to themselves is to not flood the market and all these other good reasons that you are really sure are bullshit. And the reason you are is you already know everything about this. This class is a cover, and your handler in the very early stages of your undercover work has sat next to you. He's an older gentleman. He, I think, has a cover as a professor here, and he has sat down. He's seen as your mentor also at this college and says, so, Maxwell, is it now?
Yes.
Strong name. I approve. we're going to need you to change colleges.
A transfer?
Yes. There's a certain professor in the center band of islands that we need you to keep an eye on.
Okay. Is there anything in particular I should be looking to learn from him?
Your handler sort of gives a sly smile and, well, I would have personally liked to give you that information. However, it has been deemed to be on a need-to-know basis. They do want you to stick very close to him, this Mithat Ozturk.
He kind of like has like a pen and paper that he's writing, like pretending to write notes on the class, but obviously like writes little notes.
Every once in a while, looking at the professor and what he's saying.
Yep, and like
Yeah.
writing at the time after he says something notable, but it's actually not anything to do with what he's saying, and of course probably using some sort of loose like hand jargon, so it's not like clearly legible what he's writing. So just stick as close as I can and find out anything then.
You will need some amount of cover. We're giving you credentials on ship history. He's particularly interested in the Regenu continent, the Wandering Continent.
And economics is part of that, I take, as he kind of like looks up again, like he's paying attention to the class.
Like, well, and he seems to hesitate. And this man is your, I guess, the mentor in both your cover, but also like in your career as a spy. And he wouldn't show it, but you know that he is somewhat protective of his mentees. It's like, look, I don't like sending you in with no information, but... And he looks up at the professor. Right now he has like a bunch of like numbers on like theoretically what would happen if just anyone could produce aether glass. It's not great. He is making some assumptions because he doesn't know how it's made. It's a secret. It's kept secret. So he has all these different projections based on how much like manpower and the cost of materials it is to make it, and how it would destabilize a lot of like military spending. It could be used as a very dangerous weapon, but he's also very much downplaying like all the other uses of this, of like helping you power any number of devices. The college you're in right now is running on electricity, which is an extremely like inconsistent power source compared to like magical energy. Lights flicker every once in a while as generators sputter. And it's, definitely doesn't smell good. The like sooty, coal burning smell of a generator, even just on the island, is distinct from, say, a wealthier, smaller island that runs purely on aether power. You see at the bottom of these projections, if it's very easy to make, the effects apparently would be catastrophic. And your handler doesn't say anything. He's not allowed to, but he very pointedly, as he says, well, looks at what the professor is doing. He chose this lecture to meet in. He could have picked any of the other lectures you're in. Economics are a much more powerful force than people would like to think. And, unless you say anything else.
I think he like pauses, like he's going to say something, and then just like can't even like. I'll follow him and keep a close eye. Is there anyone I'm to report to if I find anything?
You're reporting to me, but you will also be reporting to our superiors. They want some direct information. So send 2 messages when you do, every time. Directly to headquarters and to me. You get the implication that his orders weren't to have him get that information sent to him. He's kind of asking you to do that on the side.
Yeah, I think he's just like, yeah, I'll be sure to call mom or whatever when I get there.
He takes his cane out of his lap and slowly stands up. Says, well, also, maybe keep this Mr. Ostrich safe. I'm not exactly sure even what they want to know from him, but
If they want
it
to
does
know
no good
something,
to waste resources.
we want to know something from him. It probably has some value. So, I'll make sure.
Yeah, he sort of gives you a nod and walks out. And that's maybe a thing that you're thinking of right now as we return to the present. You all have learned the secret of Aether Glass just in this moment, that it's cheap, easy to make. While there's definitely more resources on the Storm Islands to do it, you can kind of find it on any wandering island, and while the wandering continent's the largest one, there's plenty of wandering islands around, like a lot. People have definitely destabilized islands all over, and there are several more like just boulders that are basically proto-islands that never stabilized in the first place. So it's not difficult. And I think that's probably where we're gonna enter. That's not the right. I need to find the right sounds for this. But I think the scene is yours.
Let's see. So if we're just to clarify, we're resuming right in the moment from where we left
Yes.
off at, sort of at this reveal.
Well, Yes, the last time you are in the bowels of some research facility that was booby-trapped to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And you've managed to get into it without anything blowing up, and found this secret sort of tucked away behind a brick in this facility that was definitely torched and left open and damaged significantly. Ozturk is kind of stunned. I think he and Reese are going over some technical documents on this, and are not really that invested in the conversation you guys are having, but you all are given a chance to step back.
Well. Sounds like we hit a jackpot, yeah?
It's one hell of a secret.
That's a word for it.
So
Whatever
worth
takes me-
killing,
Sorry, guys.
slaughtering over.
Yeah, well. See enough of the world, you realize they're all pretty fucked up. It's usually over money.
I mean, this is more than money. This is money, military power,
Yeah.
control over basically everything.
So, elephant in the room question? What do we do with it?
I mean, from a scientific point of view, this is huge. Having said that, if I had found this on my own, I probably would have just shared it with the world. But this isn't really my discovery, and it's not, doesn't come from me. I'm much more interested in, the island, the continent hearts anyway. So,
Other thoughts on sharing it?
It's the kind of secret that people kill over.
They do a lot more than that over it.
oh yeah.
Well, would they kill if it was no longer a secret?
Yes. I mean, if this got out, it would cause an incredible amount of chaos. Like, I don't think you understand how easy this is to make. Like, I could walk outside, spend 10 minutes gathering materials, and I could make probably at least a handful of this stuff. Like, it's insanely easy.
I think, you're like, you could recreate the heart of your ship that you were on right now for like almost no amount of time. Day easy.
And that upsets the balance. The IITC's got these things on lock as far as I guess. They've been using that to kind of keep their power base. We share this, their power is suddenly everybody's power.
Yeah.
But
Pudding?
it changes a lot. Doesn't change everything though. All that power, people are going to want more of it. And where do you
true.
think they'll go to get it? More accurately, who do you think they'll use? So my vote's no. We don't share it. Dissenting opinions?
If we don't share it, it'll put quite a target on our back.
There's already one.
Yeah, that's...
True.
Plus, I mean, at the end of the day, even if we don't share it, the target on our back is still only from the IITC. They're not going to go out and tell people, hey, these guys have the secret to make an aether glass. That won't help their case, you know?
Hmm.
I should clarify world building wise that you're pretty sure some of the more powerful military nations would know the secret and produce their own as well.
Well, if no one's got any bright ideas, even with all these brains in the room, I think I know what I'm doing with it.
And what's that?
He cracks a really, really wide cat-like smile. You see, I've been working on something. Something big. I've been thinking, through all the time we've been traveling here, all the things we've learned, I think I've realized it. The problem with this world, it's stagnant. Not because it wants to be, because people in power want it to be. Because the status quo works for them. It don't work for all of us. We get this secret out there, the world changes. The world's gotta change. I think it needs to be taught a lesson on how to. And I'm a damn good teacher.
Maybe I'm a little confused. I thought you said you didn't want to share the secret.
I had the same question.
I mean, I get the feeling that he's going to share the secret in a sense of like, hey, here's some aether glass in a bomb.
Not exactly.
Well,
Marbles over
my
there not too far off,
opinion
though. Go ahead.
is, suppose we shared this secret with, say, your people. Was theirs originally.
Mm-hmm.
I think Oxford is going to stand up from like his journal and like that's well, like from his the notes that he's looking at and all that, and just I tend to agree with you, Dre.
There's a
this.
first.
It's just a matter of how we're going to do it.
Violently.
There's no way we can avoid that. I think that we ought to take the secret with us off of this place and try and distribute it amongst the various enslaved people on the various storm islands. Start a rebellion there. Give them the weapons to do it.
It's not a bad
Hey,
plan.
Ozturk.
Hmm?
Can this aether glass be used to make a like a rebreather type device that lets you breathe under the aether? See?
Well, I mean, in theory, yes. You could make anything with it. You just need someone who can do that kind of magic, which is not entirely uncommon, I believe. One of the sailors who's a windrunner on the ship could possibly do it.
Hmm.
And he's talking about Danil.
Hey, Dre.
Hmm.
Who says we need to leave at all?
Hell you cooking up, madman?
If we can make enough aether glass and make enough rebreathers, we could stay on this continent. Even while it's under.
Why not go bigger? Bubble the island.
Oscar, that's going to be significantly harder to do.
You didn't say impossible.
It's not impossible, but this continent will go under eventually.
Mhm.
Myself and Reese, we've bought us some time, but I don't think it's enough for us to bubble the entire island. I would say, I mean, with
Well,
this new aether glass production method, yeah.
You're going to have the problem of the immense pressure that far down under as well. I don't know that you could. It would give you more time to fix the island, perhaps, but I don't know that this is. There's more logistics to it than just breathing, I'm afraid. And I think, Arden, you would be very aware and possibly would have about to say the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, you can't live down there just by breathing. There's a lot more going on.
That's a shame.
Listen,
But I mean,
Doc,
if you can.
your idea is
Hmm?
cute. It's a good one. Revolution on all fronts in other places. It's not a bad one. I just can't shake the thought that every second we spend here bickering over it, and every moment we spend traveling and distributing this information and knowledge and waiting and planning, is just more days people like me gotta suffer. Not saying it's a bad plan, but frankly, I don't do patient.
Captain. Captain.
Hmm.
If you satisfy your lust for blood, now, if you do all of this immediately, without a single thought for the future, what about the rest of your people?
You think it's blood I want? It's justice, you dumb fuck. We've been suffering like this for centuries. How much longer,
is
huh?
But when the dust settles, you need to make sure your people come out. Where is your honor?
I drowned it with theirs.
It would be better if we. Oh, no, sorry, you finish.
People of the IITC. Some of them did have honor. And they died for it. If you make this just about you, your pain, your justice, your people's justice. But it's not just you. It's not just your people that are suffering.
Sensing things are somewhat tense, if you guys will allow me, I think, Oster, maybe we can continue this
I
conversation
won't
back
allow
on
him.
the
I'm sorry. I think Drake just literally pipes up. Shut up. You're working to a point. Finish it.
I think we should hear out the professor. And the other scholars in this room. We are not good people, you and I.
Guess you got nothing but point there, at least.
We are. Our hands are stained. To make it worth something. To enact change. We need more than just senseless violence, or an uprising, or even a revolution.
You know, if I wanted you to be right more often, I'd pay you to be my advisor and not my chef.
Take some time to hear them out.
You heard him.
I mean, I'll let the other people in the call talk first, if you would like to.
Yeah, I disagree. I mean, look at us, right? I'm a metals person. I don't do people. These others, they're part of the system too, you know? I've changed more in these past couple of weeks and months on this ship with you guys than I have in years at the academy. Right? You guys do people. You guys do people and conflict. We sit in a room and study things, right? I tried to get away from that, and I didn't get very far. So I don't have any bright ideas. All I can say is, if you want any changes made to the heart, I'll do my best. If you want any aether glass, I'll make as much as you want. But don't look at me, at least, for bright ideas when it comes to people.
You know, a lot of smart people do a lot of talking. Takes a real smart man to know when to listen, though. I admire that in you.
I mean, you know, talking didn't get me very far.
Well,
Osric will speak up if the other two.
I was gonna say, yeah, if there are other thoughts to be raised here, let them be said now.
You go. Are you gonna
Osric
say
will
something?
sort of.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, was Purple gonna say something? Sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
maybe I was
thought
looking
you
for
were.
a clarification because it sounded like we did not come to a consensus, but Foxy's like, "Are we done?"
No, I didn't. Yeah, I was. No, I wasn't.
Just be what Dre's thinking, but
Yeah, no,
that's what it sounded like.
I wasn't going for like a "Are we done?" I was more just saying like, "Hey, are there other consenting opinions to be raised here?" Because I don't want anybody here to leave this quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just.
My bad.
Okay,
Yeah, I should have clarified that. That's my fault.
No, it's totally fine. I just. Yeah. No. At this point, like, yeah, Arden has just been just looking across the room to each person talking, but also seeing everyone else's reactions to what's being said. It's being one of those vibe checkers in that way, I guess.
Word.
And they'll eventually pipe up. Say, I think I'm thinking very similarly to Mr. Quinn here. The only commentary I'll add, I mean, I agree with a lot of the commentary here. The only thing I will add is being careful about planning, because the people that have these targets on our back, they're not half-assing a single thing. They have crossed their eyes. They've crossed their eyes and dotted their T's. We're gonna go with it. And have definitely thought everything through. And I would rather not get outfoxed by the same people because we want to rush into things.
glass is powerful and can change a lot, but it's not everything. If you want to start a rebellion just on the aether glass, it won't succeed.
Can't half-ass justice.
If you want to change things, you need to work with more than just your people.
I think that's actually a good note for Oster, because yes, I actually think, Dre, that you would be the perfect person to help us start this rebellion. And I am by no means saying that we shouldn't do something here and now, but we need to get the secret to your people as a resource, not just for making weapons, but for making deals with people who also don't like the IITC. Deals for guns and ships and power.
The secret has a heavy cost to it. Your people can use it as leverage.
I want you to be a part of it, Dre. You're good at negotiating with people in your, let's say, forceful way. I'd rather you didn't die here.
Just all of you, please stop talking. Let's get back on the ship. Deal with this there. I need to think.
I agree. He grabs like a bunch of notes and every scrap of paper he has found, and even has Reese like pull out the insides of some device. It's like some mechanical thing attached to a glass tank that was surprisingly spared, and trudges out with too much stuff in his hands.
We'll speak more on this later. I don't think we're done here. I'm just tired of standing in this place.
I think if you allow it, then we'll sort of jump back to the ship.
Holy fuck,
You
we're
guys
an
have
hour
parked
already?
yeah. There's a conversation.
Yeah, seriously.
You've parked the ship far enough away from like the main mining operation that it's not like noticeable. You can't see it out there, but you can kind of, I guess, see the column of dust and hear just faintly the sound of grinding rocks as they just strip away the land from where you're at. You arrive pretty much early in the evening, but it's such a long hike that by the time you get back, it is late in the afternoon again. You've been on this island for maybe like a week and a half. You don't really have a lot more time on it. I think you've already started looking at the horizon, and it has gotten closer. You can now see the not just the top of the storm moon, but the storm itself over the tree line if you're up in like the crow's nest of the ship. I think it's probably at about this time, Dre, that your runners come back. You haven't really told your most of your crewmates what's going on, so you're probably very surprised when there is not just like Danil and some of the other windrunners, but like a lot of windrunners, a lot of people, many of them clumsily flinging themselves over trees, as many of them don't seem very experienced at it. But it's a not uncommon type of magic for people of the Storm Islands, especially those who are brought onto ships. They're kind of valued because they're likely to save themselves instead of needing like a complex rescue. I'll give you guys a chance to react to that before they start doing stuff. But
Yeah, Drake just cracks a really big smile as he sees all these large groups of people that he's been gathering up for a while.
Want strays, Captain? I guess I need to go feed them.
Something like that. Call it the fruits of my labor.
Looks like your plan's already working.
Do I have plans that don't work?
Yes.
Nobody asked me.
Danil actually lands gracefully near you, salutes, and says, well, I mean, this one didn't work perfectly. Definitely we got shot at a lot on the way out. Burned a lot of ships. Didn't really get the weapons that we wanted from that, so I really hope we have a better way of getting these people off the island, Cap. Because most of them can only run for about 20 feet at once. And she means like wind running, but you're like, you can't make it to. I couldn't even make it to the next island over.
It's not the plan anyway. You're right. We absolutely don't have a way off the island right now. Looks over at the distant mountain. They might, though.
Yeah, it's like mountain is almost the wrong word for it, as it is been so stripped away. You can see the top of it. And yeah, it's at the very top that they have a sort of makeshift airship dock. And they have one dock there, and then two sort of going round. And it seems like they do it in rotation so that crews can take a, I guess, more restful rest than the normal rotations they do while in the air.
So we blitz them. Hit them as hard as possible. Burn whatever we have to. Kill whatever we need to. Whenever we don't break, we take. And we fuck off. We might not be able to stay on this island, but neither can they. And if we take their only way out, well, guess that means all those sad fucks here who wanted everything that we had, die with it.
Yeah, I think there is a certain amount of excitement about that from your crew that's like very familiar with you. Definitely the more recently freed people and Ostrich are a little like nervous at the prospect, but Ostrich seems more resolved than he normally does as he kind of nervously nods.
I think at that point, yeah, I think before he responds to Quinn, he'll look over at the rest of the crew and kind of see, because I guess I'm curious, where are the rest of you at with this this revelation?
I think Maxwell kind of already seen you send people out, kind of is just like, yep, that's what he's been doing, makes sense. I don't think he's too surprised by it. I don't know if we were like at the ship docked waiting at that point, or if we were arriving at the ship, or
Yeah, I think we were arriving.
I
You
assume
could have been on the ship for a little bit.
if we're on the ship,
Like
yeah,
you
I think
just got there.
he probably would have just done his T chair. Yup.
Fair enough. Well,
Yeah, this checks out. Dre's always been
Yeah.
a man of action, so
fair enough. Yeah, I think at that point he just kind of turns back over to Quinn and just says, well, for now we rest up. Looks over to Danil and just says, check however you can, make sure morale stays high for as long as possible. We all still need some conversation though. Looking back to his party.
Hi, Cap. And yeah. And it's something like 25 windrunners, basically. You get the sense that some of them are not actually windrunners, were probably carried here. But it's about 25 people, and your crew is at best like 12, not including player characters. You cannot fit
20 people? That was it? Damn.
25. Although you mentioned it's like, well, we have a few more that had to stay behind that should arrive soon. They just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, get me a final
We wanted
number
to get
count as
these
soon as you
people as
can,
possible.
because I need to know what the fuck I'm working with here, because 30
These were the
people does
smaller
not a slave
planning
revolt make.
operations. Yeah. It's like, well, the majority of the ones we made contact with are pointing the mountain in there. The small ones, there was not a lot of.
Convenient. We'll make that work. I guess we'll look back at the rest and just... Let's break off for a minute. If anyone needs food, eat up. If you need rest, rack up. Once you got your head together, let's regroup and talk over this again so we can figure out what the hell we're doing. Because I don't think we settled on an agreement just yet, did we?
not even close.
What I would like then, I don't know what to add to it, so you can argue with me what you want, is probably, Dre, roll me something to see just how many extra people you got.
Cool. Let me pull my character sheet up first. That might
Probably
be...
a social stat of some kind.
Yeah, that would be my
Like-
guess.
Yeah.
Or some kind of luck, maybe.
And what a coincidence! I'm
maybe.
actually pretty good at those social stats. The who'da thunk, right?
Like, I don't know, negotiate repute maybe.
Surprise.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Let me think. hold on. I gotta get the sheet up. I can't find it. It's not there. It's not real. I found it. Never mind. I lied. Okay, so
Reputation repute, maybe.
yeah, I'm gonna go with. So hilariously enough, I actually don't have a lot of points in reputation actually, but I do have a lot of points in command. So I'm gonna go with how about I'm gonna go with actually subtlety because we're going to try to do this stealthily. So subtlety and let's go with negotiate. Is that cool?
Sure.
So that gives me a solid
Roll me
+4.
that number.
+4 on the die. Come on, first roll today. Big numbers. I see a 6. I see a 5. I see a 6.
Them's numbers.
That's
numbers.
17.
That's a yeah.
17 plus
Nope.
4.
Yep,
Nope.
it is 17. 17 plus 4. That is correct.
Is it 17? I don't know how the fuck numbers work, guys.
Yeah.
It's 17.
All right, cool.
18 minus 1.
All right, there you go.
See, I thought of it as 12 plus 5. Anyways,
So
Math is
17
weird.
plus my 4. That's
so yeah, you definitely get to a full success at getting like a more than 20 there. I think 21 and
21.
21. Same brain cell. Yeah, you realize after Danil like there's a better sense of numbers that you have these 25 windrunners and you have a similar number of other various people who are arriving soon. And that's kind of what you meant by I didn't go perfect because I rolled for her and definitely got a mixed success category. It's like, yeah, there's probably a good like third to half of the people she could have gotten ended up on some of the ships that got away that they sort of had to run from as they started firing at them. But you have probably double that number, so a good 100 people on the inside of this major mining organization who are prepped for this.
All right. It's not
Out
bad.
of like the several thousand
Yeah.
of enslaved people who are working there.
Yeah, okay. I can make that work. I can make 100 or so
You
work.
also know that once a rebellion starts, the people who are not into it, if
Yeah.
they see like you're going, might jump on.
It tend to get into it, yeah? Like Doja Cat?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, mob mentality.
All right, you mean? Okay. Yeah, I did it, heck. I know. I went there.
God damn it.
Yeah, okay. I think, yeah, he's satisfied with that, but I think, yeah, he's currently just, like, following the orders he gave everybody else. Just, like, take a break, go get some food, some rest, whatever you need to go do, like, go think for a little bit, go do that, and then we'll reconvene later. He wants to have a one-on-one with Quinn at some point, but I think he'll let Quinn have some time to himself before he does that.
You know, Quinn is actually kind of like muttering to himself right now about like what kind of meal plan for 25
More
plus
people.
people
How
who
am I
may or
gonna
may
feed
not
all
have-
these people?
Well, less that and more of like, okay, so how do these people
Logistics
look?
of
They look
cooking
like
them.
well fed, or they look like they're
Probably not.
They do not look like they've been starved, but definitely not well fed.
right. So Quinn is like
Let's be real.
planning like a meal around like the fact that they aren't very well fed. So like
Yeah.
okay, breads, soups, right? So it's like maybe some yogurts, things that aren't going to be difficult
Is
to
it crab
digest. that are-
yogurt?
You got stuff for yogurt on here? All right.
Is there
I'm not
wait?
gonna argue that.
Is there some kind of crab on this island that produces dairy? Is there a cow
No.
crab?
Crabs don't possess memory.
No, but I
Okay,
imagine
okay.
like Quinn.
I'm sorry, heck. Since when are crabs assassins? I didn't know we were
Okay.
using real life fucking biological
But-
rules for the goddamn fantasy.
They're literally ambush predators.
All right,
Dairy
well, you
crab
know
what?
what?
There are so many that are.
You know
Dairy
what?
crab.
I didn't ask you to be smarter than me. All right, nobody's.
Did
nobody
somebody
wanted-
say crab cheese?
If we have Wagyu crab, though.
Yeah, we got Wagyu crab. Why can't we have crab
if,
milk?
If Wagyu is normally beef,
Right?
and that means these crabs are beef, which means these crabs are cows.
There it is. That's
No.
logic.
Actual.
No.
That's logic right there. That's you defeated in the free marketplace of
You can-
ideas.
I did not get a
To-
bachelor's
to
degree in
allow
biology for this.
concept
Facts
of-
don't care about your feelings.
We are more passionate about the yogurt not existing. in this
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I'm not gonna like tell you what you can or cannot cook. Honestly, that's not like important. I'm just surprised by that. That you have dairy
I'm
on
just
the
saying,
ship.
you just
less
confirmed there are
dairy
dairy
and more of,
crabs
like,
somewhere.
It's like all frozen.
I-
It's like frozen milk, right? So like Quinn's probably
That's
Okay.
dairy, love.
yeah,
Powdered.
powdered concentrate basically, but it's
Alright,
like
fair
you know.
enough.
I will buy that. All right. There's
Okay,
not
look,
a way on this
Vio
island to get
needs
at
milk to grow up. Okay.
Be a strong, healthy
growing
boy.
child. So yeah, I would like to know what y'all are doing to sort of gather your thoughts on the ship before you have this sort of bigger meeting.
I mean, it's already been revealed, so it's not more than obvious, but Dre's dancing. He is in his quarters just practicing running himself through katas. I think he's, at this point, like, stripped himself of his top and is, like, just covered in sweat at this point, and he's been going for it for a long-ass time. And it's just, like, throwing himself through, like, maneuvers and katas and spins. I think at one point he, like, is slightly off and kicks the wall, like, really, really hard. But kind of just like lets that be like an expression of his anger, and kind of just like lets that rage out, and kind of just keeps taking himself through the motions. He does lock the door like to his former quarters, specifically to make sure that like no one, even people he cares for, interrupts him right now. Like he just very much does not want to be bothered.
How about the rest of you?
Have I explored the effects of my aether burns yet? Because if not,
I don't believe you have. Although we rolled for it, and you rolled really well on healing, I believe, right?
yes.
Yeah. So you have these very like dramatic and intricate sort of lightning scars, and not like they're the shape of lightning, but you are familiar with the path lightning takes through various materials. The odd part, as you sort of maybe test some channeling, you can feel yourself channeling like kind of into your hands a little bit, like the scars can be channeled into.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Okay, hold on. What does that mean? Are you like Asura now? Like what? That's kind of badass. Like what? Hold on. I don't know. I feel like no one was giving that any love, and that's pretty fucking badass. Personally, I don't know. I
guess we're gonna find out later.
Right. Like I feel like we should be hyping that a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's pretty. I'm curious. I want to know what the fuck that is.
Well, if you want to roll something to explore that, I know that we made a decision when we talked last, but that was a while ago.
That was in fact a while ago.
Sorry. Laughing at Crook.
I'm
Sure you
so
are.
No.
Alright, so sorry, what am I
irate right now.
rolling?
Well, that's kind of what I want to know. What would Oliver, when like sort of realizing this, how would he test it? Like, what ability is he going to use?
He's probably just gonna try to charge the scars. Put some charge in, see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, so you like put power into it. And do you pick like an element, or are you just sort of generally charging it up to see what it does on its own?
He's gonna pick fire. Cause what's them fix a
Yeah.
burn? Like more burn.
Yeah, I think you charge up like you're charging up a marble, and you think specifically of the material that is fire, this sort of aluminum marbles that you have that do that. And you don't know why that comes to mind, but the scars heat up. It's not painful, but they like get hotter and hotter, and you suddenly can feel. It feels like you could burn something by touching it. And in fact, you almost like, as you move your hand around, almost like your own shirt on fire.
Okay, Hellboy.
Like you get singed a little bit, you're like, ah.
Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, Asura's Wrath. Like,
Yeah. I also would love you to roll probably some kind of awareness notice, let's say.
this is just like that hit anime Fire Force.
True.
Except you can do a lot more than just fire.
Exactly.
That is a 17.
Okay, no, I like that flavor. You probably have your marble like bag on you, as well as if
Always
you're
do.
like with your stuff. There's probably other like raw materials you have around. You feel your pocket get hot, like where the marbles are, because you haven't really directed this. You just charged it up, as well as you smell a little bit of like burning going on in your like bag with your raw materials, and realize you have also heated up the aluminum at a distance. It doesn't thankfully burn too much, as you're like you didn't put as much into it as you could.
Oh fuck, my man can range
takes a-
charge now.
Well, that's new.
Yeah, you with a little bit of experimenting realize you can like think of a specific material at a distance, like one that you see, and charge it at not a great distance. You start experimenting with it. I think the rest of the crew sees you with like glowing arms. You just start like walking away from a marble that is on fire until it's not on fire anymore.
Dog, just aim hand at enemy. Think human flesh. Channel.
Unfortunately, that is not a easily channelable material.
Can't do that quite yet.
I'm just saying, dog.
On the
Don't-
other hand,
Yes.
Don't give up
if
on your
their shirt
dreams.
if their shirt has metal buttons, though,
Uh,
Uh-oh.
well, they got a weapon in their hands.
I'm also gonna tell you if you roll really well on finding the right material, they may in fact just have some materials chargeable on them.
What?
Like I'm not going to decide who has what. It's gonna be you roll
What if
to
you
see
pick,
do
like-
they have it.
The specific calcium component that makes up human bones. Just charge their skeleton.
I mean, if someone absorbed a lot of aether and they had a really high iron, I don't know that works.
I'm just
a lot of
saying,
iron in their
friends.
blood.
When you itch, that's really just your skeleton trying to break free of your mortal coil.
Ugh.
That's what it really is. Like, every time you itch, that's what it really is. Now you know.
Yeah, although I'm gonna tell you right now, Oliver, and I know that Oliver would be like academically aware of this, but he's been using a object for his magic his whole life, which means that usually when he screws up, the marble explodes. You're charging directly through your body when you do this, so if you screw up, you might explode a little bit.
Exciting.
might have to talk to Reese about seeing if I can't get some replacement parts eventually.
Yeah, I think just thinking of that, Reese is probably fixing his own like completely removed arm. He made like a vague skeleton of it the other day that didn't really function, just so that he could go on like the thing with you. But right now he is fully like making his whole arm again. He also seems to have a slightly different material in that as well that maybe is similar and related to the fact that he also got zapped real good.
Zap. You want to get stronger, friends?
Uh,
Just get zapped.
Stand
This
on the mountain,
continental heart
lightning
does
strike.
crazy shit.
It's more that they just rolled really well at not dying, to be fair.
I mean, that too. But also, just get zapped.
To be fair, dying would have also been some pretty crazy shit.
It would have been some pretty crazy shit.
If you track me down, I should become a puppet. No. Anyways, I'd like to know what our other two academics are doing to get ready for a conversation.
Nerds.
I think I think Max was just drinking tea and like sitting on the ship and looking out, just kind of observing.
Yeah, the camp of people.
I mean, Arden is probably just busying themselves with like whatever like work around this assassin crab project they can. There's always work to be done, especially with like research stuff. So something, anything.
I would love you to roll something with aether biology. I do not know what.
I think at least according to the skill tree, we're doing knowledge stuff. So
Yeah, it's fair.
let's do that.
We are experimenting, so I'd allow other stuff if you want.
Can I do a lore?
Can you tell her the lore?
I mean, lore and If you want to give me knowledge lore, I will allow this.
Wait, what?
I will give you the lore. I will give you the lore. It will be knowledge lore.
Okay. Ooh, okay. As a 17.
We can. You can spend 2 points to get that to 19 if you would like, and you're about to rest, so you're fine.
Let's just do that for that.
Yeah. Yeah. You. I think you figure out like the kind of stuff that they will eat. You realize some other details as to how like they function as a unit. It is very much like a school of fish, but it is a little bit, I guess, a little bit like a almost wolf sort of situation where there are several like mating pairs and everything else follows them. You find yourself lucky that you probably got like mostly, like you got most of those mating pairs that in the box, and the other ones didn't like run away or die. So you're grateful for that. You figure out like how the best things that they'll eat by just sort of finding stuff in the nearby like wilderness and just bringing it in and be like, this is what you want.
Yes, we learned that they like whole prey more than just like random meat that we have.
Yeah, especially stuff from off the island. They're like, I don't know what the hell this
Okay,
is.
but did we learn where the
They'll eat
krill
it.
comes from?
They do not have krill.
Gotta find the krill crabs.
I will not 100% say that doesn't exist because this is a fantasy world. I'm just saying they're definitely not the predator crabs.
You hear that? You hear that, Heck? Tate said we can have
I
krill.
talk about it.
Tate
We
said,
have Croak at home.
Tate said we can have krill.
You have to convince me that you found it. You did the work for it.
You
Return to
give
the
them an
Violet
inch
Sea
and
to
they're
search
gonna
for
take
krill.
a mile, Tate.
If you want to spend time fighting krill, then that's going to be a thing that happens when other people are doing shit. You got like
And I'm not gonna help you.
Why? Why would you want
Here we
krill?
go. The search for krill.
Fickle campaign. Violet Sea, the search for krill.
Oh my god. Absurd.
Violet C3, the quest for even more Krilk.
The crookening.
The krill.
Electric crocaloo.
krill, yeah.
Literally no.
All I can think of now is all the Halo. Krilka Mongero. Krilkinair.
Over krill.
No.
Krilktacular.
Yeah. I think that we could then would now be a good time to go to break, and then we come back on like the big conversation.
I think that's a good idea,
How
actually.
the players feel.
Yeah. So Tate, do the thing. My fault. You gotta say it. Yeah, say the whole thing. I gotta say the thing. I have to say the thing.
I was gonna say, yeah, just all right. Twitch, we're gonna be right back in about 10 minutes. So don't touch that dial. We'll see you in a bit.
But before we go,
Bye.
super critical announcement, as
All right.
it's a Neon Light's birthday. So,
Yeah.
even though she's not here to see it, because, I don't know, she wanted to be asleep or whatever, everyone please give all your love and all your attention to the very wonderful, the ever incredible Leona Maple, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, darling. We love you so much. This episode's for you. We'll see you after break. Be great. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to drink your Krilk, and goodbye.
Hello, Twitch. We are back. We are back with Violet Sea, the actual play stream of my custom system Try. And we've been having some serious conversations here in character. So, I'd like to just jump right back into some of that. Quinn, you and Vio are in the kitchen. You're sort of trying to make quite a lot of food for quite a lot of people. And I think that's the scene that we're going to start on, and I believe that Dre's gonna also be involved, so.
Quinn is working on stirring a bit of porridge. It's a nice big pot of hearty grains stewed in with various bits of meats, some green onion shoots, a bit of adding a little bit of salt. There's like some scraps of like the leftover crab meat that's being tossed in. Very savory, very like you can see Quinn kind of like stir, stop, a little too thick. Pick up a bowl, pour it in, and he's kind of seething a little bit quietly with thoughts on just what the IITC has done. And I think Vio probably notices Quinn's.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna say, if that's the vibe, Vio is probably like, Vio's a sensitive child, possibly due to just how their life has gone at this point, and is probably like quietly helping and just looking to you, Quinn, the whole time. Like, doesn't want to interrupt what you're saying or doing, and is worried, obviously.
I think Quinn just like kind of pauses and just gives Vio like like hugs Vio over towards the side, just gives a brief squeeze to maybe like just let out a little bit of that energy that he has right now before going back to kind of a little bit like angrily chopping at some.
I think that's probably after a little bit of cooking and chopping and such, is when Dre, you enter the room after you're done
Yeah, the captain
concentrating, dancing,
slides
stuff.
through the door frame. He's not put a shirt back on because why would he? Puffs on a cigar a bit and just. You busy?
My shit.
When am I not, Brett?
Point. I mean, like, brain busy.
Just. I don't know, just. And Quinn will put down, like, just deliberately put down his knife. Sometimes the depths that people will sink to. For the sake of something like money. I can't understand it.
I think there's like a moment where sort of the camera like floats to just like some flashbacks and like brief images of when you saved Vio but couldn't save the rest of the family. And there was a bounty hunter that had replaced certain of their limbs with various mechanical bits that specialized in explosions and ambushes that did it all for money. And like, you knew that. You know this sort of bounty hunter / hitman by name. You're familiar with their work. And this is the first time that you had to go up against them, and it was just, I guess, disheartening that someone that skilled did that just for money. Like, that's it. And like, sort of the camera comes back to this scene.
Just. There's a certain amount of, well, things that you can live with doing if you have a cause, if you have a duty. It's not to say that any of it's right. I've done a lot of things for the sake of. And Quinn just looks down towards Vio. And yet, people still. Dre, I don't understand, Captain.
You can call me Dre, Quinn. You've known me longer than anyone else on this ship.
Well, I've patched up most of your wounds. I
Since
can't
before
fix
I was
this. I can't fix this.
If I've learned anything in the not so long time I've been alive, it's that some problems are a bit too big for individuals to fix. Some problems are systems, you know?
Yeah. Vio's parents often complained about the system.
You see where that got him.
They were good people. I know you hate the ITC. They were good people. They had honor. I don't know what, but they found some terrible secret. I'm not sure what it was, but they were kind. Whatever they found out, they wanted to spread it far and wide, and they were horrified by this, and I have never seen just a few months after they had started some kind of movement, they were wait.
You all right over there?
Secret.
Talk to me, Quinn. You're getting weird on me.
Oh, dare they? Oh, those honorless, spineless, delivered sea worms!
Deep breath. Talk.
They knew. They found out about the Aether Glass.
And the IATC knocked him off for it.
They were horrified, I remember. Walking in, Vio's mom's just sobbing, and they wanted to set things right. They just wanted to set things right.
And what are you gonna do about it?
I have a question for probably mostly Dre that might inform what Quinn says. Did you let everyone else know about who is on the Southern Pale and like his relationship to you? It's the captain, or not the Southern Pale, excuse me, the Birmingham's captain, the Jerica Crossa.
I mean, in general?
Well, yeah, did Drake tell at least generally that's who is there?
Oh,
who's
yeah.
the captain of the ship. Because you learned this on your own.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know if
no.
you shared.
Yeah, no, he definitely would have filled people in.
Yeah, so Quinn, you would know who the Crossa family is, both to Dre, but also their position in the IITC. And you would know that he's probably somewhere next to that mountain where the mines are.
Well. And Quinn just makes a brief glance towards VO. If I didn't have this duty, I would go to that mountain, drag that man out from his ship. I want to rip away the basis of his power.
But it's
I
not
want
about
to
your
see...
justice, right?
Yes. Throwing my words back at me.
So what are you going to do about it? Hard call, ain't it?
I don't know, Captain. Think if anything, the people that deserve the most to make that decision. Takes another glance over at VO. Either aren't old enough, or, well, I don't want to see. I don't know. I just don't know.
Scary thing is, neither do I. I haven't known this whole time. I'm just kind of going off my gut. I just know this world's been wrong long enough. I gotta make something right about it. Now look, I can't tell you how to make the change you want to see happen. I damn sure can't tell you how to make the change I want to see happen. What I can offer you, though, Quinn Archer, is a chance to rally up with me and about 50 other sad sacks of shit, march our way up that mountain, and talk to the Grassa family about our grievances, personally.
Well, if we're going to be talking grievances, personally, if we're going to, I'm going to walk with you into whatever hell this is going to end up turning into. It will be
Like
a hell of
usual.
our own making. I have two names.
Oh, so now we're dropping secrets. Go
Well.
on, don't tease me.
Was born to two wildly different families. I'm sure you never heard any of this. Well, it's probably not an issue for you, but I lost my right to that other name a long time ago. Zhang Meijing.
It's a beautiful name. Well,
If we're going into this crusade together, you might as well know it.
I'll do a little bit more than that. Because if you ask me, Sean Macier, when it comes to rights, technically I don't have any. So who gives a fuck about them, right?
Well, I guess the best we can do is best thing I can do is try to see that dream through, huh?
The
Theo's
best-
parents wanted
Okay.
wanted to right all of those wrongs done to your people. So I'll join you. Come hell or high water.
You know, I'm thinking we might just see both. So I'm glad to have you back through it, yeah?
As long as we keep Theo out of the well.
Uh, Dre will reach down and kind of scruff the top of Vio's head for a bit, and then reach another hand up to kind of offer like a fist towards Quinn. Maybe some things are about blood, yeah.
So long as not the blood of the innocent.
You got me there. I'll leave you to it. Don't fry your brain cells.
It sounds like that's the end of that scene. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go fish.
Just one last word is thanks.
Anytime. Just don't tell anybody, okay? Never have to keep.
So do I.
As you were.
Oh. Not sure what the best music for this, but I'd love to. Still trying to find some other variety, but it's like the one detective one is just a really good sort of somber feel to it.
I mean,
right?
if it works, it works.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I would like to sort of move us then to the scene of you guys sort of having a final planning conversation. I think that you have Ozturk, who is like sort of gathered what notes he has, and you have Mrs. Mani, Destabilize Mani, the technical owner of the ship and overall quartermaster, in her quarters, like with all the library books and maps and things. Dre, as you enter, she is holding back a certain amount of like anger that you are very familiar with how that looks. It's like the smile doesn't break, but like the eyes are a little tighter and just... Captain.
Yes, my love.
The next time you decide to start a slave rebellion with our crew, I would prefer that you give me some kind of warning.
He'll offer a very Cheshire smile and just say, I'll put it in my planner. The kind of smile that very much says, I can't read or write.
Yeah, I know you don't have a planner. Definitely isn't going to pursue that too much further. As the rest of you sort of enter, as you know, this is where you're going to have that conversation. In sort of a sign of maybe like solidarity or like his position changing, Ozturk does position himself like sort of next to you, Dre. Not like right at your right hand, but he is like purposely sitting closer. And
I'll shoot him a nod.
I think he does look around. He probably opens the meeting as so. I think that we really need to plan for our plan. He's gesturing to Drain himself. I think that's who we need to focus helping, and I think that Dre's admittedly less open actions have maybe given us an opportunity to do both what he wants to do and what I would like to do. I think if we can take one ship and destroy another, they'll only have one left to leave on. We can let it go and make sure that the various enslaved people there know the secret. We can distribute the secret to the rest of the colonies. They'll have to visit all of them with only one ship so that they can continue to distribute them back to where they're from, and it will give us a lot of loyal eyes and ears on the inside, as well as, no offense, Captain, to the Lady Rachel, but a larger ship, one that's a little more battle-hardened for the fight to come.
My girl's beautiful for her size, he says, tapping the table a little bit.
And yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say is just looking up thoughts.
I think Dre will actually try to open this on... No, you know what? I think Dre will sit and quietly wait to hear from other people first. He has a response. He's gonna wait, though.
What about those who aren't willing to fight? Or those who can't fight?
Those who
I
can't...
can set up a mid-station, but... if they can't leave, then this island's going down.
That's why we let the one escape. They'll leave on that. It's possible that we could take them all on the one that we would steal. It's just
We smash
logistics
both.
might be difficult.
No question. We hit both ships. We take one as our primary vessel for escape. Take one as our primary vessel for escape. We smash the second one to make sure they can't use it. Third one we let people use, especially non-combatants. Quinn's right there. If you can get some kind of meditation up there, I'm sure we get some people there to buy you some time on the ship for whatever you need. As for those who aren't currently willing to fight, well, you leave that to me.
I think DePauli says, well, our Windrunner has informed me that of the contacts she has made in the main camp, that there are several medics among them who are not really willing to fight, but if we can get them on the third ship, they could also set up that sort of care for whoever makes it. There's enough experienced sailors among them that they should be able to operate it without an official captain. We may need to battlefield nominate one, let's say.
Arden, you got pretty good eyes. Good wit about you. Quick thinking. You make a pretty good captain. You want to learn the basics?
Are you sure?
I'm always sure.
I mean, if you think I can do it and it will legitimately help what we're trying to do here, sure.
You have not let me down once since I've met you. He'll even
Plus, you're
throw
the
a.
best eye for people.
He'll also throw a confident and wholesome, but also definitely very flirty smirk their way. Because he's captain, he
It's
has
like
to.
3 different things in one
That's-
smirk.
Captain
Yeah,
Dre, it's always 3
like,
different
oh.
things in one
Complicated
smirk.
Yeah.
That's
like,
Captain
oh,
Dre for you. Multiple things in
I don't
one
even
smirk.
know how to, I don't even know how to visualize that in my head, but okay. I got it.
It's a smile I
No,
give to you when I'm
we're
proud of you, which is all the time, Hack.
Oh, okay.
What are our thoughts for after or contingencies? You need a way to communicate with the factions.
Before we answer that, what's a contingency?
Plan B when Plan A. Plan A always goes wrong. You know this, Captain.
A plan B. Got it. I have one of those, actually. It's a weird one, though. Doc, I agree with you. Believe it or not, all of you. We should get this around. We should also give it to our people first. Good news is, excuse me, we have all the knowledge we need for that right here. So, if people don't want to fight at all, whether they're people who are here with us right now, or people we rescue in the aftermath, people like us, people like me, we don't know a whole lot. And I can't even write my name. But y'all know a whole lot about this place, about operating ships, looking at Maxwell, about material science and aether biology, or looking at, Oliver and Arden respectively. You could teach us. You could give us that knowledge back. So I say, not only starting right now with the people we have here, but everyone we can gather up. If any of them have the aptitude to learn it, teach them whatever you can. Let them spread that knowledge around.
Sure. Don't see why not. It's always good to have a few more people, know how to make things that aren't part of the universities.
True. And also, if we are wanting this, to living here to be sustainable, definitely help that more people have the ecological mind behind it.
Not sure that I have too much to offer. I mean, most of your people have crewed ships as much as I've been on them. Probably know more than I do.
Still wouldn't be bad to have someone around to coordinate that. Thank you. All of you.
If you want, you can teach them etiquette.
Certainly wouldn't be too bad.
If you would like that, I can do that as well.
Mr. sitting in the
Tea.
corner sipping tea.
Like Quinn just gives like Suits like a very much like a look. Like you can teach some things like stealth, how to pass messages.
That'll be
Are you
helpful.
saying that out loud, or are you giving me that as a look?
Like all of that stuff is like Quinn I think will actually say that out loud because Quinn has been kind of like suspicious of Suits for like a while.
Oh, we call the
not-
emergency meeting finally.
Less as like I think Quinn has at this point realized that that Suits is maybe not on their side, but like at least is friendly adjacent. So, but is definitely calling Suits out right here.
You're hiding something.
I don't know. I feel like I stick out like a sore thumb in this, and he like goes to his suit, which is like not like what anyone else is wearing at the table.
Pretty flashy suit, Trey says.
A little bit, yeah.
So. Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh, adventure music.
Yeah. I'm fucking with this.
No, that got too quiet.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. This is a professional organization, I promise.
Sorry, just laughing at chat right now. Don't mind me. Happy y'all are having a good time over there, chat. Little tapping from Foxy here. Y'all are great. Mwah. Yeah, no, I think Dre will actually do a weird thing here, and like, as Quinn is like kind of like lancing words over at Maxwell, we'll kind of cut over and just, I don't know. Suits has always given me kind of okay vibes. He's definitely got his secrets, but he's been operating on our side this whole time, I think.
I mean, I'm not really on anyone's side, so I just take notes, but I'm certainly not working against you. If there's something I can do to help, I'm happy to help, but...
That's all I need for now. I'll crack you someday, though.
He's trying to pretend like I have no idea what you mean. He's cool. He can pull it off.
I mean,
can't.
even if you're not, even if he's completely uncomfortable, Drake's just making people uncomfortable. He'll just take that. That's fine. He's not a problem with that. Just any case. So I guess now it's time to talk the actual plan. Since we figured out what we're doing afterwards, how are we hitting this damn thing? We got 50
Well-
good folks and a decent amount of time. What we don't have is any information on what the hell's going on up there.
Maybe this is something I can. Do you know what 3 ships are there?
Aw, shit!
You know one of them.
Time to get ship
Give
lore.
me the boat lord.
The ship
It's the
lord.
Yeah, we know at least one's the Birmingham, which we got plans for that ship. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, the Birmingham is definitely the, let's say the most gun-heavy of them. It is the, like,
We're-
you don't want to fuck with this.
We're blowing
That's
that
what
one
you're
up, by
thinking.
the way. If y'all were wondering, that's the plan. We're gonna blow that one the fuck up. We're gonna blow that one up really badly. Okay, if you're wondering,
Really, I
we're
thought
gonna.
we were going to steal it and make it our own ship because fuck that guy.
It's a slave trading ship. I want it gone from this fucking world.
Fair enough.
I want all memory of it removed.
That makes sense.
I like the
I
idea
just wish.
of turning it over to your people better. It's like this thing that used to be a sign of oppression, it's now a sign of the opposite.
I mean, that's fine, but also it could be a sign of get fucking fucked.
That's fine too.
Yeah, we could just be a smoldering wreck.
You know, honestly, I say we figure it out when we get there.
I
We'll
like
see.
to the pain instead of to the death, you know?
You know, fair
Well,
enough.
if we're gonna take your ship, we'll leave you here on this island, and you'll know that your ship is in our hands. But that's Dre's revenge call, not mine. So
We'll figure it out.
Queen is all for the petty.
Yeah, I think Dre is happy to say, like, we'll figure that out when we get there. Like, Dre is happy to see it a smoldering ruin, but hey, he's also more than petty. So, like, if we can increase the petty, he's always happy to increase the petty. If we can maximize the petty stock, not the penny stock, the petty stock.
right.
Yeah, then the other 2 ships, I think that you talk, Denali speaks up and is sort of like giving information that they've sort of gotten in the various spy stuff. Now that she's involved in it, she's sort of organizing it more than, say, Dre has up to this point. And their names you recognize as not like infamous ships, but definitely in like a similar weight class. All of them are like a scale or two higher than your ship in most categories. But that does mean that they're much slower. They're basically 2 scales lower in speed and maneuverability. They are not meant to like chase things down.
Gotcha. I was thinking, you let me get all that. I didn't even make a roll. Do you want me to make a roll for any of that? Or
Nah, you're just too
If
good.
you want to know more about them outside of that, just
yeah.
those are like the basics of the name that you would recognize without having to.
Okay, I will make a roll with my history stuff.
Ship history lore.
Yeah, lore.
Lore.
Deliver the lore.
I do have a +2 from Corndog that I'm going to use as well.
Hey.
And I think I rolled bad, but I think I have a skill that lets me re-roll at least 1 dice, I think.
Hunter 125 to
You got
HQ.
it. He's
I'm Lindbound, prepping the lore bomb. Delivery in 3, 2, 1.
No? I'm trying to look through my skills, sorry.
Sorry, I was filling in by saying stupid shit about lore. Don't
You're
mind
good,
me.
you're good.
Let me see, I have some more ones? I have some more. This just in, we go live at 5 with lore.
So that's, I rolled 7, I have +4 is 11, and I can spend some points to get up to 13, I guess, which would be...
Can I justify this as being a
And the
captaining
plus
thing
two makes
since
15?
I'm asking for captaining info, so that I have the thing where I can have people take I can spend points for any role since I'm a
I can
captain.
get up to 15. That's where I'm at.
And I can give him AP points. If I give him 3, that gets him up to 18, which is still just shy. Damn.
Well, I can
Yeah,
just sit
unfortunately,
at
I don't-
comedic. That's fine.
Yeah, so you already get to the success. You, I'm gonna have to write these names down because I will forget them
to the-
otherwise.
to the name
So yeah,
gen.
the other 2 ships, right? The other 2 ships are the Decadence and
course.
the Rapid Crusader. Although Rapid seems like a misnomer, it's kind of not that fast, but it definitely has obliterated ships extremely quickly.
It's a
again,
relative.
both
It's
gunships.
rapid is a relative definition. All right.
Yeah. But in both cases, they have these reputations of like hitting hard, not moving. They're basically mobile gun platforms. You, with that roll, are pretty sure one of those 2 has sustained damage at one point, like pretty significant damage, and had to be rebuilt. And I think it's specifically like this is a history check, but you're pulling a little bit from your like spy-ish knowledge. You're pretty sure you might have an agent on the one that got repaired recently, or you might have like information on the one that's been repaired recently on like a way you can kind of sucker punch it.
Yeah, I was kind of ask if I could like have I don't know what if this is you telling me what I have or you're offering do you want to fill in the blanks? You tell me what it is.
It's a bit you can tell me what those 2 are. The problem being with comedic success, you're not sure which of the 2 ships it is.
Okay. So I think if I can, I think one of the ships was damaged in a spot and has the inability at this point. It is very, very bad at turning one direction. We'll say right or starboard, I guess.
Okay.
And so it's like it's basically a sitting duck if you get on the back right side. But I don't know which one it is.
They tend to go into battle together, so you're like, they're both there. They're both doing a thing. They back up the Birmingham like quite often. It's like I can't separate them, I think is the bit.
Yep. But if that's the case, whichever one is that damaged one, we probably should. I don't know if you want to take that as your ship or leave that as the ship to be used for civilians.
Wounded prey is always easier to hit. Yeah, it's smarter. In any case, the Garasses are probably on the Birmingham personally. I know some of us have some. Looks over to Quinn. business with them. So yeah, we crippled the third one, the one that's already wounded. We hit the other two, take them over as fast as possible, break away.
I think Quinn actually like goes back and like turns over to Dre and it's just, Brett, you had first dibs.
There's maybe an alternative to the damage one. If we can figure out which one it is and we take it over ourselves, I think probably Reese or Dr. Oliver might be able to fix it due to its damage being mostly material and metal.
Always better to have more than one plan. I agree with that. So I say, in that case,
Just have to make sure it's the right one.
here's what we do then. We don't have enough men to siege 3 ships, but we can definitely siege 2. We hit our crippled friend over there, and the Birmingham. The goal is to take over both of them. If we can, we seek the Birmingham entirely, we fix that 3rd ship, and we get out of there on both of them. And we after smashing that 2nd one. You know, the Birmingham's got some hella guns on it. We just give it to them and get the hell out of there. Alternatively, if that plan fails, we smash the Birmingham into the ground, get everybody we can on that 1st one, see what we can do about that last ship, get the hell out with whoever we have. It's a Pyrrhic call, but we gotta be realistic about this. Our odds are not in our favor.
We're gonna try and commandeer 2 ships. It means we have to commandeer 2 ships.
Indeed.
So the damaging doesn't really matter for the ones that we're taking at the very least. But
Agreed. So we hit the Birmingham and we hit the damaged ship. The one that's undamaged, we either smash it with the Birmingham's guns or just smash it in our own way.
You also know just from watching that they do have sort of a rotation cycle where at best 2 of them for a brief period of time are both docked on the top of this mountain.
If the Birmingham is docked, its crews probably aren't manning the guns. Best time to hit it would be then, yeah? Especially if one ship's already damaged. Means they can't bring it around as fast.
the next time that should occur with the Birmingham based off of their cycles should be about a day.
Then we got a day.
Morning.
Yeah, it probably happens every morning, honestly, like the way that they cycle through. It's like a 24-hour period kind of a deal.
Then I say we give him some time. Which means we have... Oliver, how much time we got on this island for its sakes? I know you and Reese did something to it, but how much time do you think you bought us?
Lorist?
You're gonna have to roll me something for that.
Alright. How does insight sound?
If you want to give me knowledge insight to make an educated guess.
Okay, yeah. That's 16.
Can I justify that as I captain ordered him to do that and give him 3 points?
Sure. You could also spend 3 points if you
That's
would
true.
like to
Did
get
you
it
want to spend
to-
your
Yeah,
own points?
I could just spend my
Oh,
own.
I thought that was 16 with spending points. My bad. Okay, fair.
No. That's just the flat 16.
All right. Well, there you go.
done that.
You're up to 19. Full
Yeah,
success.
so I'll spend 3 points to make that 15.
Yeah, you know that this thing should only have like maybe a week normally. Like if you got on a ship at the last like second, most people will leave within like 5 more days, basically. However, with this, if you do some mental math, like 1/3 lift to kind of lower that to 1/4 because it was doing a little bit of work, etc., etc. You think you got like maybe an extra few days out of that?
Gotcha.
Like this thing stays up for not even a month, and you spend a lot of time getting here and doing all this.
Right.
So yeah, you get maybe 9 days instead of 6.
And they probably, at least as far as we know, don't know we changed the timeline.
Yeah.
But they'll notice it when the island's not sinking. And if I know the IITC, they'll get greedy. So I say we
Sure.
hit them on the absolute last day. Let them get gluttonous. If they don't know when this thing's going to sink anymore, they can't tell. Once they see it's not, they'll get greedy and keep mining up for more and more and more. We hit them on the absolute last day, right before it sinks.
Yeah. Gives them no time to repair.
More importantly, no time to go away.
Max, would you like to roll me some kind of spycraft to see if you know somebody you can send a message to?
Okay.
Hello,
Would you want that
seagulls.
to be probably rep? I feel like.
Sure.
Rep and spycrafts. That's gonna be 4 9s, 13, and is it spycraft I can spend any number of points on? I think it is.
I think so.
Not any number, but it is.
Up to
You can
6.
spend 3 of each category.
Yeah.
3 from 2 different categories.
Yeah. So that would get me from what I said 13
So
13
19.
to 19.
19 was
Yeah,
a full success.
I'll do that.
19!
I'll
Yeah,
take
you're
from
pretty
my
sure that you
spycraft.
have some contacts in. It would be specifically the Birmingham, and actually, like, I guess their science isn't the right word, but they're like navigation and I don't know what word it would be for tracking where islands go. It's like in their sort of navigation department is almost the word you'd use for it, just because they have several navigators and under navigators. Because this is a big, like, official military type ship. You have somebody, probably just a clerk, but you could send them this information, and they could probably confirm it with numbers and like hand it off to their superiors as it was their own. And they'd also pay you for it, because you can basically send this. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, how would I send it?
Well, that's.
I have an idea,
interesting.
but if you let me. But
I would love to hear that idea.
So I noticed there's a radio in one of the first missions that we took. I think Maxwell may have also had a radio on him the whole time, but he kind of just hasn't mentioned. Hidden.
Oh wow,
gadget
more
type of thing.
secrets. Who would have guessed?
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, you could just quietly, as this thing is going down, if you don't want to mention it, just think like, oh yeah, I can push that. I can push that along a little bit on my own. You also probably will technically get paid for it if you roll really high in deceive to be like, I have information you want.
Yeah. I don't think he would necessarily do anything to like try and get extra paid for it, but maybe try to make it. How do I know this contact? Would maybe be my question.
They're part of the same spy network as you, technically.
Okay.
They're just like very much a different
different
segment of it.
In that case, he'll give the information that the island's going to stay up longer and the date, and then ask to tell them it's going to stay up a day longer than we think even.
Well, I guess that depends. Do you want to lie to this person and say it's more, or are you going to give them the truth and then ask them to do it?
I'm going to give them the truth and ask them to do it.
Okay.
And it's their call. Like, they can either say it's the normal one, or they can say it's a day longer.
Definitely roll me something with negotiate if you can.
Well, if we're waiting until the last day, early morning is when patrols are the least alert.
We
Think
hit
we
'em
can
at
slip
dawn.
something into their supplies?
Exactly. I mean, we've already got people. Say it's not too hard to maybe put a few agents in somewhere. Cause a bit of panic. I mean, we actually already have people on the inside in there already. I could get some runners sent back and forth if we want to coordinate, maybe cause more diversions for our final attack. We hit them at dawn. They're already on top of a mountain. When the light crests over and they're already disoriented, we smash them as hard as possible. If you're wondering, the double entendre is very, very, very on purpose.
Yeah.
I
Double
got
entendre?
to a 13, FYI.
We'll see how they feel about that then. They're gonna roll something. So they do send a confirmation that they got the message. They're just not don't send much else.
Well,
I didn't tell them why to say it was a day longer. I just told them to to say it's a day longer.
that's
than
all we
it is.
need.
Whether they take that or not, we're gonna hit them on the last day anyways. Just
Exactly.
whether they're prepared or not.
Okay.
It actually works
also
out perfectly
love
well because
for- Sorry, you do.
it'll either be because because they either will think that it's a day longer and thus that day we hit them they'll still be preparing to do their last day of mining or packing up, Or
They're not packing. The whole idea would be they wouldn't even be packing.
Exactly.
Up. They would still be mining.
exactly, or like if they do know that like this actually is the last day, that means they're probably in the middle of packing up when we hit them, which means they're gonna be even more disoriented. So I think either way, it works in our favor.
Yeah, with 8 days, I would love for everyone to either, like, in this meeting, I think is a good way to do it, describe what you want to do, and then we'll roll to see if you accomplish it.
Doing a little Kingdoms
Yeah,
of
I
Warfare
know.
over there, huh?
Yeah, I see you, Foxy. I understand.
Yeah, huh? I see
Yeah,
you.
I know.
I see you over there. I see you, Bay. I see you.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd love everyone to, like, tell me something they would do to prepare for this. One thing I'd like to have a roll for, actually, is... I feel like it's just captaining, just flat captaining from our captain. And this is a really more of a luck thing, so spend points as you want, but...
Here it goes. Captaining roll. So just the flat, no stat, just the flat captaining skill.
Yeah.
In that case, that is a... What's that? 5 plus... That's 11. Plus my captaining skill is 3. Gets me to 14. I'm going to spend 3 points. 3 of my... I'll spend 3 of my social credit points. That's fine. And that puts me up to... still not high enough to get me... I mean,
17.
Yeah, that gets me
Well,
into...
this is not really the... It's
Yeah.
definitely in comedic success and not quite to a full success.
True.
But this is really more of a luck roll, because you're thinking, oh yeah, we'll attack in the morning. You have enough experience with ambushing people that you're like, well, yeah, if we do that, I'm pretty sure I could attack from this angle and the sun will be at our backs and it'll be harder to see us. It's like the only kind of stealth an airship can do.
Yep. That was my thought anyway. That's right.
Uh,
I'm the ambush predator. We brought that joke all the way back around.
Hey, I'm gonna write down on my notes that's what you got, because effectively you're just gonna now have to roll to stay in that sunspot as opposed to just getting it for free
Makes sense.
when this battle happens. But yeah, what else is everyone else gonna do?
Yeah.
Pitch me ideas.
What y'all doing? What's happening?
If nobody else has an idea, I think Quinn would actually go to consult with Arden, Beanie. Quinn kind of like approaches Beanie with a. You understand the ecosystem and the biology of things around here. What kind of... Well... Thinking about maybe slipping something into their food. Any thoughts on what might be lying around here that I can whip something up?
I mean, depends. What do you mean by something? What do you want that something to do?
I don't know.
It's like,
The crook.
what's around here?
Hey, Lorist, what's around here?
You can roll me some aether biology to see if there's something that would poison people, and I will give you some options depending on what you roll.
Okay.
This is cooperative,
Yo.
though. I feel like Quinn should help with, like, a cooking skill.
Also, remember, I'm pretty sure we have Purple's received the +2, Hex received
I
1,
also
Michelle's
have
received
a
1, we have 1 free floating.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which I'm probably
use them
gonna
both.
need that for this, so we're just gonna see.
All my dice belong in
No,
timeout,
come
apparently.
back.
Remember your
Okay, that
+2s.
one's absolute
That's
top.
true.
Okay. Alright.
Then, yeah, add 3 for cooking, like,
Yeah.
for Quinn's cooking, as Quinn is also trying to help, is like, what will this do to a person? I've cooked things right and wrong before.
Okay,
I think there's a story of Quinn, like, just, like,
well,
fucking something up and...
yeah, like
knocking
with
it up.
modifiers and dice and everything else, that's an 18, and I'm just gonna go ahead and spend the point.
Yes.
End of point.
We point spending.
Perfect. You are pretty sure that most of the plant life on this island is not going to be good for you. Most of the things that are living. As much as you can kind of take those mollusks and cook them up correctly, you do have to, like, shuck away a lot of, like, ligaments and shells and things that you could probably powder up, and you have everything at your disposal here with the high roll of definitely will make them just puke a lot to like pass out and maybe die. Like, it's how deadly you want this to work. With the more deadly ones being actually more difficult to administer. Like, it's going to be a balance. The more deadly you want it, the more likely someone will notice, or it'll get cooked out or something like that. Because I know this is like refined poison.
Yeah, a lot of this is very delicate, so even just cooking things can often just nullify the toxins entirely, so it just kind of depends on what you want to do.
We can just make most of their crew absolutely miserable. Be easier to take out.
That works.
You know, that'd be easy to do. There's definitely a whole lot of plants here that have a whole lot of like very basic chemicals in them that they produce that do not cook out, that will just make people nauseous as hell.
Yeah.
And I guess sorry. If you'll allow, I think the other thing Quinn wanted to do is stock up on medical supplies.
Okay.
If possible, with whatever's lying around.
Kind of like that. I mean, I think then that there should be another cooperative role between Arden and Quinn, and both of them ought to do some kind of scavenging, I guess. Like Quinn with your, Arden with your tracking, and
Sure.
Quinn, I'm not exactly sure what you would use for that, but just
Sure,
some kind of going out and scavenging and finding those supplies. Quinn, probably your medical skill, your sawbones.
Yep.
I believe I gave you a skill to like just improvise medical stuff.
You did!
Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use excellent tracking
Ooh,
with this.
we track it
Um,
excellently
and,
out here. You feel me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can spend
is not your
one
average
MP
everyday
already
tracking.
Only the best.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ek.
Can I read out what this means?
Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Just having a good time.
Yeah, I'll spend the additional MP already just to add awareness and knowledge to the roll.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled a 8 plus a 5, which is a 13, and I'm willing to spend some extra points, but that's not going to go above a comedic success.
Sorry, I'm
You
laughing
get
at our
to
new
add
friend in
Arden's
chat.
2 to tracking.
Extraordinary tracking.
Different
Exemplary
confirmation
tracking.
this time of numbers, but it was still an 18, so I'm gonna spend one more point again.
Yo,
Alright,
I think you're
I'll go
rolling the
ahead and
highest than
spend all
everybody
3
else
plus
tonight,
that.
Heck. Like, you're killing it.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
listen, I either
guess the
roll
extra
like
two-
all ones
oh.
and twos or this. Like, there's no in between.
There you go. Your dice luck's finally come around.
I'm getting
Uh,
all the ones
Yeah,
and
so I
twos.
guess
Gave them to me.
nah, give it to him. But yeah, I guess Quinn, even with the extra +2 from Arden's tracking, you can't really get quite to a full success. So you find medical supplies, but you also know that you don't get anything that's going to really work well as a anesthetic. So while you're treating people, you're probably going to have to wrestle with them a little bit using these supplies. So. And then, Arden, you find a lot. I'm going to say you can definitely find these various plants that I will let you describe because you're smarter than me. But you can also find something else useful while you're out there tracking and scavenging that I'll let you pitch me something if you'd like.
Ooh, okay. Well, probably the main plant that I think of. I'm currently blanking on the exact name, but a fun fact with
So
how
we'll make up one.
okay, a fun fact with how poison dart frogs work and how they produce their poison is not because they just like do that by themselves. They have to eat a certain type of bug that eats a certain type of plant. They're just incredibly good at like that multiple steps of refining the thing. So I'm going to model the plant that I find after that plant and just have the cooking process kind of be like those additional steps, and they'll get pretty sick from that. And yeah, what else would I find? Um. I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to say I find evidence or just straight up find something that is considered a keystone species on this planet. Or not
Okay.
this planet, this continent.
His island, yeah.
Yeah, this island. Yeah, which, keystone meaning like a lot of the ecosystem, if not all of the ecosystem, depends on something that this
Mhm.
species does. Um,
Okay.
whatever that species might be. I think it'd be fun to say it's some type of like reptilian species, like I don't know, marine iguanas or something like that.
Okay.
Have you seen them? They're so cool. I love them.
Yeah. I think you find this species, and as you're looking at it, as much as we had this conversation earlier of like, yeah, you can't just make an air bubble and live down there because it will just collapse. The pressure is so high. But you like find this iguana and like just sort of study it and look at it for a bit and realize that it, despite like it's a lizard, it shouldn't be able to survive that kind of pressure. You realize it also shouldn't survive the pressure up here if it can do down there. And you realize it's basically channeling aether to like regulate its own internal pressure. It's not like a wind magic. It's almost like a kind of gravity magic. And yeah, it does a lot of processing of really hard corals and stuff, and is both good at clearing that away for new growth, but also is very much a prey species for a lot of the other crustaceans. Goes on for the rest of it. I know it's been kind of bugging you recently.
Also, we're back and it's okay.
Hey!
We
Hi,
returned!
friends!
Ah.
Everybody! We fixed it. Sorry about
fixed.
that.
I fix.
It's okay. We fixed. My internet just gave up. Like, it's okay. We're back.
Having said that,
It'd be like that someday.
all right, we're back. It's all good.
All right, everybody want to check, make sure stream is actually live over on the old Twitch?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Hey, Leon saying
We're good.
hello.
We are here.
We got a Leona. All right. Okay, I think we're
By
back.
the way, now that
We're
we're
good.
back from a very quick break,
Take it back.
again, happy birthday, Leona. You weren't here when we said it earlier, but
Happy birthday, Leona!
Happy birthday!
Woo!
oof.
All right.
But, anyways, returning kind of that scene, and I still want to find a good song for this, and I'm just not something right in the middle. Let's try this one. Anyways, ooh, a little dark and sinister, but not a bad thing.
Mhm.
My music has not changed
Anyways.
for a while. Hang on, I'm gonna close rejoin. Hold on.
Oh boy.
It's all right. I can fix that. Don't you worry. I'm fixing that right now.
Mhm. But while he's doing that, yeah, what we were just saying is that Arden, you find a poison that is maybe borderline, like gonna kill people from like dehydration. It's not gonna be pleasant for them, and it's definitely going to give them a lot of disadvantages if you can get it into their food. You also do find this keystone species that's more fun for you as a treat.
Yeah, as a treat.
As a treat.
Yeah, have a
Mhm.
marine iguana as a
All right.
treat. Also, if y'all haven't seen them, go look them up. They're cool.
Yeah, no, Marine Guanas are
Actual-
fucking dope. Tate, re-hit the music for me real quick. Give me a stop and a restart.
Yeah. Stopping it and restarting. You got it?
Alright, there we go. We're in there. Yeah, we
Protector of the Sky.
Oh
well,
yeah,
serious.
I know
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Well, it's because Foxy does all the sounds for us, chat, and he is good at finding good music. I'm just being very not decisive on this.
Nah,
Anyways,
it's fine. You're good.
so what I wanted to know is how y'all gonna get this into the food of like the sailors and captains and stuff?
I mean, let's face it. We know who's doing all the cooking aboard those ships, right?
Yeah.
True.
Can't
Fair.
be all that hard to send a runner or two over with maybe some fresh supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy air quotes on the fresh supplies, if you hadn't noticed those.
Definitely
Yeah,
fresh.
and I feel like Dre and Maxwell will be the best suited for like advising on how to do this. I just don't know how Maxwell would do that. But I would like either of you to roll some kind of awareness, I would say, to see what options you have for that.
Insight? Sound good?
Sure.
I know exactly how I'd do it. But... Okay, succeeded at constantly rolling at least 1-1 so far.
That's some kind of success, just not success in this game.
Yeah. But it will be at least 14, I think, without spending points.
Okay. Dre, get anything good or not?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was blanking and banning a bot. I gotta reroll now. Cool.
Okay.
I got that's a 11
Ban him.
on the dice. And what am I rolling, by the way? I'm assuming I'm rolling...
Some kind of notice or awareness.
All right, let me get
notice awareness would be the best one for you.
Yeah, notice awareness is as a +5 to this 11 that I rolled. That makes it a 16. I can spend some action points. That's gonna put me up to a 19.
You can get to 19.
Yeah, and then yeah.
So, I think I'd like Maxwell first. What your idea is. I'll tell you what you notice is how that they're getting extra supplies from around is they're not getting a lot of extra supplies from like the island. It seems like they brought most of it with them. But as soon as you said that message of they're gonna be here longer, like the next day, they are definitely collecting more resources from the island to sort of lengthen their stay.
Yeah, I think just from all of his time researching ships and what they do and how they work, I think he just kind of has like a, well, normally they send people out in the morning, they come in at this time, but if you come in like at like before lunch or whatever, they'll accept them, but they kind of won't really look you over or care. They're just like, yeah, just get in here, we're doing other stuff, don't worry about it. So it's like you can get like a time window where normally they check that you're on the list or whatever, but if you go at a specific time, they're just like, they don't care. They're like, yeah, whatever, throw it on board. So
yeah, I think that's how they've gotten in before. And Dre, you also sort of look at this, and possibly, Maxwell sort of points it out, and so does your several windrunners who are in this. Like, that's how we got in.
And I'm just like, oh,
I think you would also...
I guess I'm an idiot. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Just like they already knew it, basically, or whatever. I was pointing out the obvious. That's all.
Well, I think the thing that you would notice is because they have to go out, and you're like, well, that's a great way to getting specific supplies in, or meeting with someone who's already in there. And Dre, I think you realize is there's no one on their side. Like, you see what they're picking up, and you've noticed what Arden has said, like, this is good to eat and this is bad to eat. They're kind of just starting to experiment with that. It would be extremely easy to just be like, literally get them to put the good poison bug things into their food without even having to collect it and send it in yourself. With no subterfuge needed. If you can just convince the person who collects all of it.
Yep, that's basically the
how it
game
works.
plan. Yeah, that's basically the plan, is like, he's assuming that, again, like, the people who are actually from here, who are actually doing cooking, probably don't know, and the people who are making them do the cooking, assume like, oh yeah, people who are from this continent, they probably know what all the stuff is here, and so...
Even though all of the biology has been completely replaced.
Exactly, that's the game plan. So, yeah, we're gonna hit him with a little bit of that. Sounds perfect. Let's do absolutely that thing you just said.
Yeah. And I think with the roles you have, what really the main point of it is you manage to find the person who cooks the food for the sailors and the officers, which is, I mean, maybe obviously not the same thing as for all of the workers. And yeah, you have successfully delivered that poison. I don't think that's necessarily the only thing you get to do, Maxwell. I'll let you decide an extra thing if you would like. Is it like a thing you spend the week doing?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, for what I thought my spend the week thing was gonna be more closely with the kind of alerting that message out there, and then I think if you don't, that counts, and I can do something else. I think he's gonna be spending a lot of time doing what he was doing before, which is sitting on the deck and watching the ships. And so I think how that can help is if I can get a better idea of the read of their schedules of when they're switching this. Like, I already kind of said that and gave us the idea for our plan a little bit, but I think like maybe I can find like another like specific hole where there's a spot or a time where things won't go right for them, or
Like a
picking
blind
out
spot
like
in the swaps or anything like that.
any sort of weakness that they have in their
Hmm.
patrol, or maybe there's like a spot actually where if the ship goes around and patrols, the other two are docked in a spot where they can't see that ship for a moment, and so we could hit during that moment and get like maybe be able to take it over without other people being able to realize we took it over.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Roll me. I will allow spycraft and something like
Awareness.
probably
again?
awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what you get is gonna depend on what you roll.
What?
So I also have some ideas of things you might notice.
Okay, well, if there was a time to get a good roll, it is now, and I did.
Hey,
14 on the dice, and I got a +4, so it's an 18. I can spend one to bump it up.
Damn straight you can.
yeah. So yeah, you notice a few things. One, their schedule is pretty consistent, and there's not naturally any holes in like the airships seeing each other. Like they usually fly high enough that that's not a problem. However, and you can tell me if this is something you like orchestrate to test or not. You see what happens at one point where like there's an alert and they think someone's breached the perimeter. You can add some flavor to that, but you notice that that's actually a better hole because the airship has to fly down towards this, and when it's in a specific one or two places, there's quite a lot of, I guess, like the earth they've piled up that won't like completely hide it, but will hide. I guess like the path between them and the ground is the right term. Like you could have a ladder going up to that no one will see at that moment, and it does give you a certain amount of cover if, say, the other two ships try to fire at you from there.
Gotcha.
You find a specific like patch of dirt, I guess like sort of like semi-hill of dirt that is also in a place where like either of the ships when they're docked are gonna have a really hard time aiming at. It's just at an awkward angle from how they've placed the docks.
I have found us a favorable battleground.
Perfect. That's exactly what we need.
And
Or at least a favorable place to load
and
people on the ship.
yeah, that's also very true.
Mhm.
So I'll leave that as an option of we can either try and trigger something there to. I'll leave it. I'll probably present it to Dre at least, of being like we can either try and flag them down so that we can ambush them there, or we can try and save it as a spot to get the ship that we're gonna get civilians on.
I think the latter's a better plan.
And
You know, give us space to let Quinn do his work as far as loading up people and make sure everyone's on the ship. Especially if we're gonna make sure we want to fix that third ship. We need time to do it. We want to make sure that Oliver's not under fire for that time.
Or Reese.
Exactly.
And speaking of which, Maxwell, the ship that is broken, I think you borrow a spyglass while you're watching, and you do notice one of the ships that has a harder time making a strong right turn. It's the only one that actually does its patrol, like, taking only left turns. And it is the Crusader. Like, the other ones go around one direction, it goes around the other. So you successfully rolled high enough to make that.
Turner. Got it.
Yeah. I guess the last two to ask is if Dre is doing anything in particular outside of what he's already kind of done, and if Oliver wants to prepare something.
Oliver, you can go ahead if you have anything.
Well, Captain Dre, how big of a bomb do you want?
I wanted a bomb.
I mean, now that I can make Aether Blast, I kind of assumed you'd want a bomb of some kind.
I mean, you assumed right. I just didn't think about it.
I always want a bomb.
You're not
So,
incorrect. Now that I'm aware
to
that you can make
reiterate-
bombs, I certainly do want one.
Do you want one or multiple, and how big?
Multiple. A couple small ones, we can see if we can plate them about the place. Maybe just cause some havoc, some destruction around the place. Blow up the supply lines, things like that. And one real big one. We're gonna smack that on one of those ships. Which one? Well, we'll find out when we get there, I think.
I'm gonna keep it loosey-goosey.
I mean,
Okay.
again, Dre's plan is to keep this plan flexible.
That's fine by me, as long as, you know, they're all accounted for by the end of it.
Exactly the plan. If anything, Coordinate to get that plan stored exactly where we're gonna have Quinn operating on that last ship. That way we can have time to sort of wait to figure out where we're gonna place it. Make a one scene strike, either put it on the Birmingham or that other ship. Knock it off and get out of there.
Sounds good.
So what I'd love you to do is probably roll me some material science stuff. I will let you use magic points to fuel this as well.
Build
as
the bomb!
Yes.
And how many and what size you get is gonna depend on your roll.
So I rolled an 18.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm
That's
gonna
like
add
3
one to
sixes,
that.
right?
Well,
Oh,
no, with my
dirty 18.
with my a dirty
Yeah, yeah.
18. And I'll spend a point, make that a 19.
That's a success number.
That would be the big number.
That dude be the big number. Yeah, you can make several smaller bombs. They're not really like shaped or anything. In fact, you only use a very small amount of aether glass. You're basically just like making glass. You're crushing up shells from these various like lightning sucker polyps into a sand. You sort of melt it down with probably your newfound I can have really hot hands ability, or however it is you would like to do it.
Hot hands.
And
Hot hands.
you can choose what materials you use for this. There's an abundance of like regular stone and wood things that will sort of contain the charge until it's big enough to explode. You can, I'm gonna say, spend some of your like personal wealth, is like the wealth that I've given you at the start, if you'd like to make any of those small ones like really powerful. For the big one though, I think you probably use ship resources for this.
Okay.
You guys do have some of this like much nicer and more durable metal.
That's
and
true.
then you are kind of given a choice. You can make this something that will absolutely rip one of these ships in half. Like it'll be shaped to just destroy something. However, it will take a very long time to charge, relatively. Like you can't just have a bunch of energy in it to start with. You're gonna have to charge it there when you plant it.
Gotcha.
Or, I mean, maybe coordinating with Maxwell and his understanding of ships, maybe just on your own understanding of mechanical stuff, or with Reese, you think you might be able to basically make like the outside of this bomb, and if these ships, as they appear to be, have their own aether hearts, you might be able to, turn that into a bomb. But that will require some more rolls, but will be much faster.
Right.
Yeah, I
So
think.
here's what I'll do.
Yeah, please.
I'll spend one of my wealth to make a couple of smaller bombs a little more powerful.
A little bit
And if
bigger.
anybody looks through like the window to Oliver's room, it looks like he's playing with clay, except his hands are just bright orange as he just
Oh, that's
molds this sand into like snowball shapes.
That's cool as fuck. I love
Yeah.
that. That's cool as shit.
And
Yeah, you use some of the materials you brought with you to make, I'm going to say 3 of them are much more powerful. Where the other ones are only going to do like 3 damage to people nearby and will destroy some structure. This one will do between 6 and 9, depending on if someone is too close to it. And you're pretty sure you could knock down a moderate-sized building. Like the ship you are in now would be very much damaged, like by just one of these things if it went off.
Okay. How many of the smaller ones did I make again?
You make 3 potent ones, and I'm not gonna. You can have more of the less potent ones, and I'm not gonna be picky about that. But somewhere between
Gotcha.
3 and 6, depending on what you want to do with them.
Okay. And then I'm also gonna like the one big shaped like cut a ship in half type bomb.
Mm-hmm.
The slow charge one.
All right. That'll definitely. Both will take a roll. It's just a very different kind of roll, and one might take many more rounds, even with successes. I'll give you a
Alright.
sense of like probably 3 with some good rolls. If you can do something crazy in the moment, then I'll let you do that faster. But
All right.
Okay. Solid. All right. I guess
But
that
So, who? Anybody here want a bomb for personal protection?
I mean, I think Dre will take one. Why not?
You want? You want the small boy or the medium boy?
I like medium boys.
All right, here you go. Just, be careful.
Thank you. I'll put it to good use, he says, throwing it up and down in his hand repeatedly.
Also, Lucian, you got a +2 to your bomb making.
There you go.
Amazing.
What did you roll on the dice, Lucian? Like before bonuses and all that?
Before bonuses, I rolled a 12.
A 12. Yeah, okay. I was just trying to see if that would push you over the top to like basically having 3 6s.
No, not quite.
Nah.
Okay. Anyways.
So yeah, I guess Dre's
Anything
very
else
happy
before we
with
move
that.
on?
So yeah, definitely very, very happy with the idea of bomb making. So he's definitely gonna walk around with his mountains for a day or so. As for what Dre is doing to kind of help out the effort, well, it's definitely some kind of like morale like role. Like I'm gonna say it's probably captaining. If I had to pick a stat, it's probably like command. It might even just be command inspire because it's the same bonuses. I'll do command inspire. It's fine. And I'm gonna roll before, and I'll tell you what it is based on what I roll.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my chat +2 for everything because I think it's gonna be a good roll. Here we go. I need this one to do well.
Needs to be a good roll.
Needs to be a good roll. All right, I got 5, 4, and 5. That's 14 plus 6 makes that a 20. Plus 2, so it's 22.
Damn.
So I think
So you are within this range where if you want to spend all 3 of your points with a 22, that'll get you to 24 or no 25. Yeah, that's in the range of what you would get with 3 6s and a moderate bonus. So that's technically a crit range.
Oh yeah, I'll happily do that. No, I'll spend my last 3 social points for that. No question. Yeah, so no question on that one. And I think what Dre does is Dre spends some time thinking, kind of like he spends most of the week just like generally captaining, but also being a lot more sociable with the crew and with the rest. Just going around, keeping an eye on their training, even like joining them in for certain training sessions, chatting with them, sharing drinks with them, bringing them meals, like generally kind of keeping the morale and like, getting everyone kind of like inspired. Even like his like fellow party members, like, he'll come by like while Oliver's like working and like, bring him like a plate and like a couple in the drink. Go check in on Arden as they're working on stuff and like listen raptly while Arden babbles about biology, understanding maybe about an eighth of it, but he'll listen very intently. Just stuff like that, like, sit and like do like watching with Maxwell, like, help him point out stuff with him, like just simple stuff like that. Work in the kitchen with Quinn. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I like the idea that when we figured that out, we were there together.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were like pointed out, we're like, oh, it drops here, and that's kind of where we had that discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like kind of talked about it. It's like, yep, this is the exact, absolutely. And I think
I do want really quick. So did you guys coordinate that like perimeter breach, or did that just happen? I want to know like the.
I think it just happened.
Yeah,
I think it was like
Yeah.
I think like literally not on plan. Maybe it was like an accident we did it, but like it was not planned. And we're just like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
One of like the local creatures actually like broke their perimeter, and that's why it went over there or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of the great big crab things. One of the big ones.
And we're like, oh, well, hello. Ain't that cute? I think the last thing he does is probably it's the last day before we start to like, it's that night when Dre is kind of like walking around, definitely looking very, very intent. And I think right at the end, he kind of says, I think almost like not talking to anyone, but I think I'm going to say like you all are kind of around him when he says this, just like, I think I'm going to recreate an old cultural practice. See if it doesn't help the morale out for the night. And so Dre takes maybe 2 or 3 of like, the most hardened badass, like people who are really with the shit amongst like the groupies gathered. They go out, they leave the shit for the night. They come back that night while everyone's doing their final training, all gathering up, getting ready, prepping themselves up. Dre walks over with these 3, like tattooed, like, warrior types. Each of them, all 4 of them, lifts their hands up, and they are holding a head of a guard from like the mine. And Dre just holds it up, so everyone's eventually slowly looking over at him. And once it's completely quiet, once everyone is looking, Dre pounds his chest twice and just roars, "Hamate Hakai Nazula!" and just screams that as loud as he possibly can. And I imagine all the rest of the crew, especially those who know what that means, join in and just start screaming and shouting and throwing up drinks and just, joining in the celebration as he has effectively declared war.
Yeah, I think the lead person in your crew who takes that up is Danil, the Windrunner, who's sort of been like with you for a long time as part of the crew and has maybe learned more about her own culture from you, because she, much like you, has been just disconnected from it, but in a very different way. Probably it's like how you sort of pieced it together is with her and many other members of the crew. And she takes that chant up and sort of leads the rest of the crew and many of the other Windrunners that she's freed.
And I think to those who are like not as familiar with the culture, for the rest of you, it looks almost like a mosh pit at first, like a riot almost. Just there's screaming and shouting and fists and legs being thrown and chests being beat on, but there is this incredibly organized chaos. You recognize eventually the chanting is a call and response between Dre and the rest of them. It's a constant back and forth. And while there's a lot of different words to it, it does settle on two things. And I think, for the sake of dinner, if you don't mind, Lorist, I think it's even Danil who, as everyone's gotten into it, comes over and explains to you all as you're all kind of looking over and recognizing that Dre is saying this kind of back and forth chant, which is Hakai and Hakai Ma. It's constant back and forth, which eventually you're maybe looking a little kind of what does that mean? And I think without you even asking, Danil speaks up and says, it's real simple actually. He points at Dre and says, and she points at Dre and just says, I breathe, and then looks at the rest and says, yes, we breathe. Yeah, I think that's kind of all he's there. He spends his night just enjoying and living it up in this moment with the rest of the crew, just drinking himself stupid and painting his body in all kinds of elaborate war colors, just loving this moment.
See, I think it is, if you allow me, that's actually on the last day that was supposed to be for the island, because it's in these next 3 that you're going to strike. I think you see off in the distance some of the other people who were doing smaller mining operations or logging, or people who were collecting other resources. Their ships all leave, and you can almost tell that they are confused and circling the continent, because it should be in the aether right now. It should be in the ocean, and it's not. It's on the dawn of this 3rd day you see what is going to make your sort of final decision as a group. The patrol pattern changes. They're still stopping and docking at the top at the same time, so that's not changed, but as they go around, they're actually slowly loading up what they have, because they are not, it seems, confident in the last few days possible. And a lot of normally the crew and commanders who would be on the ground are all staying on the ships, and the ships are flying much lower and around. And I think one of your spies who has gone in and out comes back and says they're really not sure they're gonna stay for the next few days. And if they are ready to leave at a moment's notice. They're going to be a little more armed, a little more ready for someone to come in and steal what they're doing. They're nervous.
Well, we can't turn back now. I say we hit them. All in accord?
Option. The other option I could think of is give them something to make it worth their while.
To stay?
Yeah, and land. Do we have any more of the... Did you use all of the Aether Heart steel?
You did not.
That'd be a
You,
reason.
in fact, used the building stuff Oliver, not the Aether Heart, as
Okay.
it was more durable.
That if they could find a spot where they could get it, that might be a thing that they'd stick around for.
Yeah, I can sprinkle some around.
It's another alternative I'm thinking of that might give them incentive to stay for at least a day or so, but well, that's a risky one, even for me. But will you ever get that sword finished for me?
I was wondering about that as well when I
Say,
suggested this.
I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of like he's finished a sword for you out of the Aether Heart. I think he's like, look, this isn't a metal that's actually especially good for swords, but it works. It's really meant for people who can charge Aether, because I mean, Oliver, you would know, like, oh yeah, I could light that sword up. That sword could just become a terrifying flying blade of death, and just requires some charging.
Fair enough.
Listen, if I'm close enough to you, just tell me when and I'll light your sword on fire for you.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. So,
Might happen even if you don't want it to.
honestly, and I'm okay with that. It's just, I'll just treat it like I did it anyway. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, I can light my sword on fire whenever I want, on command. I promise.
me.
But to
Any-
be clear, it would probably be more like a super, like, weighty gravity thing, because that's what the hearts do.
That's
It would be
it.
a little bit like your sword glowing, like, purple and suddenly being able to cut through anything, because it now
Oh fuck! I'm
artificially
Kenpachi.
weighs a ton.
Holy shit! I fucking love Bleach. Any case, so slightly serious. I think Dre tunes in and says, "Yeah, I think I have an idea that might get them to stay for at least a day or two while they're negotiating, without having us having to give up any of our Aether Steel. We can keep that for the war effort. Something that might be real valuable to the old Captain Garasa if he knew it was within reach. Should I say, someone?"
Gives up the surprise a bit, doesn't it?
Because I'm negotiating for a surrender. I'll go and parlay, talk with them for a while, because I don't want to just be given up. I want to negotiate the rights and responsibilities and freedoms of my crew. I'll make sure to filibuster him for a while.
Captain?
Quinn?
You sure you want to do this?
Of course not. But it's a damn good plan, yeah? I know Garasa. I've seen that look in his eyes too often. They're a greedy lot, all of them. I can play on that. If y'all don't trust me to do it, I won't. We've all come this far not because of any one of us, but because of all of us. I haven't said it before, but I respect all of your talents and all of your opinions. If y'all think this is a bad call, I'll rethink it.
I wouldn't say it's a bad call, but it's certainly a call.
I make a lot of calls.
Definitely bold.
If I had a middle name, it'd probably be Bold.
It's not about it being a bad call, but
Puts you at a lot of risk.
for you.
I guess that means it's on you guys to bail me out then, yeah. Eyes, you're awful quiet on this.
Yeah, because, you know, I feel like a lot of things that you've done leading up to this have been very on brand and a little predictable, but I don't think any of us could have expected this. But I mean, if there's a chance this could work, why not?
The only other thing is, if you do this, they'll be aware that we're here, and they might be more on guard with their ships.
Yeah. Not to mention they're honorless. Will they even honor the rules of parley?
Gross is the captain. End of the day, there's still a rep to keep. I might not be one of them. But I'm still a captain. And I'll throw that name around if I got it. Y'all know I'll do that. But doesn't mean they'll be kind to me while I'm there. I'll level. This is definitely an off-character call for me. Not because I'm throwing myself in a hapless risk and horrible danger. I do that on the regular. But because I'm putting my trust in all of you to get me out of it. That's the difference here. I'm making this call because I have people here who I know, if things go wrong, they'll get me out of it.
I think to Polly, who is there as well, and I mean, the thing that they'll really want to negotiate for, assuming they know that you know it, the secret, Aether Glass. It could be your. The only reason they won't kill you on sight might be that.
It's almost thematic, yeah? Me, going up to them with ultimate knowledge and all the power? Heh. Kinda like it.
Things really go south.
Will...
If things really go south, don't forget you still have that bomb.
Oh, forget this thing? I've been thinking about it since you gave it to me.
Wait, you have that? You're just throwing it around in the room?
Yep!
I can literally blow the back end of our ship off, please do not.
I made that thing pretty well. It won't go off by accident. Probably.
Now with that attitude, it won't.
Not like this.
So if,
Exactly, not like this.
so if that... I feel like that might be a good place to end, actually.
Just in case
Y'all feeling that?
I don't walk out of this, though. It's been an honor. All of you. Yeah?
Captain, you're walking out of this, or Vito is not going to stop crying.
You got a point there. But, because I am a man of contingencies. Yes, I know that word. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
In the event that I don't.
We taught you it like a week ago.
I know. See, that was a callback. You did it. He's learning. He's growing.
You're both learning.
It's a genuine moment of growth. Any case, in case I don't walk out of this, can you all promise me one thing? This fight of mine, this fight of ours, can you keep carrying it, even without me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I can do this. Easily.
I feel like that's a pretty good line to end the session on, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Twitch. This has been the Violet Sea, the actual play stream of my own tri-system that I've custom made for this and held together with drama and these excellent players that I couldn't do anything without. I would love for the same order we started in for people to tell me who they are, who they were playing, and where we can find them on the internet and some of the stuff they're doing next.
Are we starting with me again?
Probably.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Hecklot. Today I played Arden Clark, the ether biologist, who, I don't know, probably has the same amount of concerns as we started this session with, but it's fine. You can find me on all of the social medias at Sir Hecklot, including Itch, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the places. This is the best way to find out what I'm doing next. Yeah, especially with my personal streams, because I don't know how to have a schedule with personal streams. So it's just the best way to do it. Especially since I am doing a personal fundraiser with the National Network of Abortion Funds throughout this month. The crazies over in my channel already smashed the $500 goal. So I'm gonna have to find out some new stream incentives.
Fuck
but
yeah, they did.
be ready for that, because a bunch of cool things were gonna happen because everyone was so amazing. Yeah, in terms of the TTRPG space, You might be able to see me over on Lost Caravan RPG, talking about Locust. There are some extenuating circumstances in the background that might cancel that stream. I'm not entirely sure yet, but you might see me over there. And then throughout the week, you can find me this coming Tuesday and coming Thursday over on TPK Roleplay, for Odyssey of the Dragon Lords and Tyranny of Dragons, respectively. And let's see. Oh, and then Sunday, the 22nd, is going to be the long-awaited game of Basic Witches that we rescheduled, the TPK Coven. So
Yes.
be ready for that.
Big excitement.
But yeah, moving over to Lucian.
All right. After that long description, hi, I'm Lucian. No, it's all good. I'm just making fun of you because I got a stream I don't use, and you'll see me here again whenever we have our next Violet Sea session. And that's
be 2 weeks from
all. Yeah, in 2 weeks. So yeah, and I'll pass that on over to
Purple. Yep.
Purple.
That's
Yeah,
me.
sorry, I was brain.
You're fine. Hi, I'm Purple Phil. You can find me around as Purple Phil. But the next place you can see me is actually on Monday on my own show. Monday the 16th, I'm running a giant tournament of game mastering making called Iron GM, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be at 5 p.m. PST. We have we're entering the semifinals. It is going to be DMF Saint versus Zipper on Disney. It's going to be a good one, much like our chefs here. I've been working on some special ingredients for this one, and I'm very excited for this one and the upcoming couple of sessions. We will be having the return of Tate and Foxy actually in a couple of shows here. They'll get to join for a mega 3v3 DM making one shot competition.
Wait, you made it 3v3?
Yeah, it's 3v3.
Oh, fuck.
And you guys are on opposite sides, sorry, but
Oh, wait,
no.
hold on. Does that mean I'm with Sarah against Tate?
yeah.
Oh, your body, bro. Sorry.
Oh no.
No. I hear your body, Captain. I'm sorry. I love you. Like.
He does have Fazul and possibly.
Oh fuck! You got Fazul? Ah, shit.
It's
They
both
had to
sides
balance
are
it,
going to
man.
be stacked.
You and me
so.
are like the same level, but
Yeah,
like, we gotta
man,
get someone at
that's-
Sarah's level.
This is about to get
I
rough.
just gotta say.
Oh, this is about to get intense. Oh,
It is
fuck.
going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for that one. I'm really excited for all of them. But yes, Monday is our next one. With that, I don't have anything further, so I will pass it over to Foxy over on the top of the other side of the screen.
Hi, darlings. That's me. I'm Foxy, Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite fox, Philly's finest. You can find me on the Twitter sphere at Foxy Eternal. That's FOXXII. Eternal spelled the way it normally is. I don't go right wingers. I slay fascists, and I have a great time doing it. The next place you'll see me at is right here tomorrow for another session of Tiebreaker All Black Everything, as I bring Kana back. The party met his mom last time, so he's gonna be a sad boy apparently, and we're gonna figure out where that's at. Elsewise, you'll see me back here again in just a few short days on this Wednesday for the grand finale of After the End, my sort of masterpiece campaign I've been working towards with some incredible players, including the lovely Michelle right beneath me, who we'll get to in just a moment. Otherwise, you'll see me in some few other places. And I guess besides that, the most important ones to be aware of are next Saturday, you'll see me here again for another finale as we wrap up the story of Against the Light, featuring another person here, our Lorist Tate. Both of those campaigns have been just labors of love for me and labors of absolute incredible effort from my players, and they've brought so much to it, and I feel like I need to bring this home for them in the right way. And so I hope you all can come along and watch me hopefully do that properly. Otherwise, I'll be in other places. We got Frozen Rain coming back here in a little bit. A reunion session for Core Hearts being recorded sometime soon, as well as a lot of other new shit happening here. But I'm gonna let that be described later. Pass it over to Michelle. Do some shit, you know?
Alright, it's me, Michelle. I played Quinn, our chef come bodyguard come medic. You can not find me on social media. I don't pay attention to it. Sorry.
It's just not real.
As for where you can find me next,
Doesn't have time for that.
I don't know. Where you can find me next? Yeah, Wednesday. For After the End. I'm super excited. You guys should be there because freaking like this guy's awesome. Saint is awesome. Sarah's awesome. Alicia's awesome. There's gonna be so.
And you're
cool.
awesome. Don't you fucking you too.
Okay, well I'm playing Sad Dragon Child, so you know. As for beyond that, A Blade's Will is going to be coming back sometime soon, so stick around and stay tuned for whenever I figure out where to put that on the schedule. Starting with the Alliance of Heaven. These guys,
gang.
these two, and Tate kind of screwed up my plans with the flashback, so we'll see how that goes.
Gang.
It's okay. It'll be
Never
fine. Everything
bet
will be fine.
against them.
I had plans.
Listen, you let
and
one
now
of us
I have to
fall in
make
love, we couldn't
Foxy
lose.
and discard like half of them.
It's all right. We'll figure it out. Anything else for you,
That's it
love?
for me.
What?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Tate, hit it.
Yeah. Well, I'm Tate Watchburn. I have been the Lorist for this session. You can find me at kinda_writing on Twitter, where I mostly talk about writing and do memes and tabletop design. But what you should really do is follow this channel's Twitter, Neon Lights Our Play, where we announce all the cool stuff we're doing. And also, you should get on our Discord, because that's where we poll people for various shows, especially the aforementioned Blades Will. We always love having new players for that, and it's also where we do a lot more fun memeing and community stuff and hanging out and chatting with all of our players and fans and GMs. I will be, like it's been said, in the Against the Light. 2 weeks from now should be the final session of this, which is all coming to a head, which, oh boy. And for now, I think that's it. We have some other shows that are going on, but most of those haven't been announced or released yet. So I've had a great time. This has been the Violet Sea, and love you guys. Thank you for being around.
Yeah. Real quick, before we head out, though, because, we got to go. Let's do a couple things real fast.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to say, again, because it hasn't been said enough times already, one last lovely happy birthday shout out to our incredible Leona Maple, a member of our community who we love so very much and appreciate so dearly. Thank you for joining our family, for being one of us, and for being a part of our collective here. We love you and keep you in our heart close. Have a wonderful day. Outside of that, secondary moment to announce that we have received a Twitch payout today. It was the largest one we've ever gotten as a group, and it's all entirely due to the love and support that you have all given us. We want to give even a fraction of that love back and support those who need it right now. So we want to announce right here that we are giving fully minimum half, and if not possibly much more to that over the coming days, of that payout directly to a charity to support reproductive rights and the fight for abortion rights across the country. That's an important thing. So expect at least a minimum $250, if not more, donation from us towards that fight, as we believe that we have to support birthing bodies here in our community. Lastly, if it's helpful to say to you all before we leave, I just want to say, please remember, if nothing else, that I breathe. Yes, we breathe. And breathing is the only thing we have to do to fight this. So please hold that in your hearts. Take care of yourselves, each other, and everybody else around you. And we will see you in the future. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.